Holly Daniels Christensen, the founder of Dune Jewelry. Our artisans transform sand and other natural elements from special places around the world into custom silver and gold jewelry that holds a personal memory. Whether it's an anniversary on the beaches of St. Lucia or a family trip to Cape Cod, Dune Jewelry creates experiential jewelry that lets you live for the moment, then take it with you. Check out Dune right here on the island at one of our amazing local retailers and find that special keepsake which will capture all of your memories of this magical place.
Most people die before 18 in this Matrix deep divers and don't get buried until 75. Most people die before 18 years old and do not get buried until 75 years old. Not in a physical sense, no, deep divers. You don't die in a physical sense. You die in an emotional sense. So many people become desensitized. So many people die before 18 in a mental sense. They think they know everything. You can't teach me nothing. It happened to me, deep divers. They nearly took my life away, emotionally and mentally. I was becoming a cold human being. I was becoming desensitized. I was losing the essence of who I truly was. Then I started to realize that, okay, I get it. I gotta unlearn everything I think I know. I gotta unlearn what I learned in school, and most what we were taught at school was a lie, deep divers. And that's why a lot of us are screwed up. They get you in the first 18 years of your life. Can you imagine, deep divers, what you could have done if you weren't in school? Those 8 hours every single day. Imagine what you could have been working on. You could have become so much more smarter, happier, healthier. Well, deep divers, it's not too late, but you have to unlearn everything you learned back then. And now you have to relearn, because like the great Krishnamurti said, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. A lot of us, we have developed bad habits from a bad way of living, and it's time to let it go. You have to let it go to grow. You have to let go of these fixed ways of thinking, of these fixed ways of seeing the world, to stumble across the truth. Everything out there, deep divers, is an illusion to keep you in this prison, the 3D prison of the mind, of the matrix. The only way out is in. The only way out is in. When you embark on the journey within to unlearn, to uncondition, you now start living a whole new reality. When you let go of everything they told you, and who is they? The media, your government, which means governmental, govern your dome. You have to become a sovereign being within yourself. Now, you are sitting in the throne. You are sitting in the throne. So realize, deep divers, everything you think you know is just a program. It's coming from everything you were taught. But for you to discover something entirely new, You have to go on the journey within. Everything you know, they gave to you. So for you to grow, you have to let it go. Like the great Terence McKenna said, culture, your culture, is not your friend. I say this, society is not your friend. When I'm in nature, deep divers, I am learning to unlearn everything and become who I truly am, which is a multi-dimensional being having a human experience. And that's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Beautiful deep divers were just, woo, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Have a beautiful day, deep divers. Peace.
Harmony, the complete balance of the senses. Sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. Create your state of harmony in no time at all with the Baron Foods Gourmet Collection. Baron, we make food tasty.
Welcome to Living Healthy. I'm Jane Manzouras. Okay, let's start with the heart. It's not always top of mind for many of us, especially if we're taking steps to live healthy. But heart issues can impact even the most active person. This next man hopes that sharing the story of his heart attack will help raise awareness. Craig Doherty is an active guy.
I've always loved competing in CrossFit, super hard, triathlon training. I coached wrestling, going full blast.
On top of that, he's also tried to stay on top of his heart health.
I was like, I'll get a heart scan. It was 0. The score was a 0. So I thought that meant like 0% chance I could have a heart attack.
But Craig would come to learn otherwise when he started feeling off after a CrossFit workout.
I felt nauseous, like really nauseous. And then I had some like right here tightness, just like kind of like a belt, but not overwhelming. My hands were tingly.
After a call with his wife, he headed to urgent care where things became more serious.
I laid down and then, next thing I knew, it was like a blink of an eye. I woke up and it was like chaos.
He experienced a ventricular fibrillation arrest. That's where his heart went into a bad rhythm that wasn't able to sustain his circulation. And he was immediately defibrillated or shocked out of that rhythm. Once that occurred, he was transferred immediately to our hospital, where we took him to the cardiac catheterization laboratory to do a coronary angiogram. And what we found was that one of his arteries was completely blocked. The longer your artery is blocked off, the longer your heart muscle is starved for blood, and the more likely that your heart muscle will be damaged.
I remember like opening my eyes and being like, God, what's going on? It was a total shock to me. No family history, no indication, never a symptom.
We went ahead and did an angioplasty and then a stent and opened it up completely for him. Angioplasty means using a balloon, inflating it to open up an artery. And once you do that, you keep the artery open by inserting a stent.
Craig did well. After a rest period, he was able to slowly work his way back to exercise, starting with cardiac rehab.
So it was 3 days a week, 1 hour a day. That was really worthwhile.
Cardiac rehab is an exercise therapy. For Mr. Doherty, fortunately, he did very well. Once he got the stent open, you could say his heart was happy. If you are someone who was very active before and you experience a heart attack without any major residual damage, absolutely you should be able to go back to the same level of physical activity that you were doing before.
Fortunately, that was exactly the case for Craig.
I feel good. I was able to bounce back. And he said, there's really no reason you can't do everything you ever did. So yeah, it was really cool. I was grateful.
Craig now hopes his experience will help spread awareness.
It can happen to anyone. In my mind, I did think I can't have a heart attack. If you think something's happening, do something right now. Or even maybe it's happening. Call 911 or get to the doctor, get to the hospital as soon as you can.
Heart attacks can happen in anyone. Recognize the signs of a heart attack early, call 911 and get into the hospital. So if you're experiencing chest discomfort, whether or not it radiates to the left arm or to the neck, it's important to seek immediate medical attention.
I feel pretty much 100%. Most of the time I feel like I can do everything. There's a lot of life left, a lot to live for. Yeah, super grateful.
Hey guys, I'm Paige, and we're going to do 5 basic stretches to make sure you prevent injury and you optimize your performance when you're outdoors running. This is good to do when you're out, you've already warmed yourself up, and it's time to get a good stretch routine, so here we go. The first stretch is going to be a calf stretch. Place your foot, heel on the ground, toe up against the wall. We're going to stand up nice and tall, keep those hips right up over the feet. We're going to push ourselves forward with the back leg, pull forward with your arm if possible, giving a good stretch with that gastrocnemius and that soleus muscle. Hold each stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. Try to keep yourselves good and relaxed and let your body go through that full range of motion, and it should feel mildly uncomfortable yet not painful, okay? And then once you finish, you just come and relax and come on off. And make sure you're gonna do both sides. The next stretch we're going to do for running is the piriformis stretch. This is a good one to make sure that our hips are good and mobile and we have good flexibility there. So let's go ahead and have a seat. We're going to create a figure 4 with our legs here. Place the right ankle over the left knee. One hand on your ankle, the other hand on your knee. Try to keep this lower leg parallel with the ground. Keep your spine good and tall. And we're going to bend forward from your hips as far as you comfortably can. Hold this stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. And then come back and relax. The third stretch we're going to do is for your hip flexors. You're going to start with one knee on the floor. You're going to have your legs at 90 degrees. Standing up nice and tall, good long spine, and what you're going to do is a anterior pelvic tilt. Scoop your tailbone up under you, tilt those hips backwards, and you'll really feel the engagement of your hip flexor here. That's the basic stretch. Now, if you want a little bit more to even engage the top of your hamstrings, you'll lean forward, keep that pelvic tilt, keep that tailbone scooped, and you'll hold this stretch for 30 to 45 seconds, and then you'll come back. And then switch legs. And we'll make sure we do both sides. All right, guys, the fourth stretch we're gonna do is for your IT band. This one you're gonna do standing. So we're gonna start with our feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna step our left leg back behind our right leg. Keep your hips square as possible. Place your right hand on your hip. Your left hand's gonna go straight up, nice and tall spine. We're going to bend over to our right, focus on pushing your hips out to your left. You should feel this stretch go all the way down from your shoulder, all the way down your side, into that hip and IT band, and even down your leg. Hold this stretch for about 30 to 45 seconds. Use a support, maybe like a wall or a table, and stand next to it if need be. And then when you're finished, you're gonna come back up, and then we'll switch. We'll go to our right leg. All right, guys, the final stretch before we start running is our hamstring stretch. We're gonna start in a standing position, feet shoulder width apart. We're going to extend the right leg out, heel on the ground, toe pointing straight up. Sit your hips back so that your weight is into the center of this left leg. You're going to extend and reach with this right leg forward towards your toe. Keep that right leg as straight as possible. Reaching forward, right leg is locked. Hold this stretch for 30 to 45 seconds. Make sure you keep your balance. All right, guys, now you have the tools you need for your run. Go out there, burn up the pavement, and have a good time.
Rasta children, I and I Rasta children. We come from Zion, we come from Zion. Even down here in Babylon, enduring the strife and tribulation. I and I not jack for vanity, I and I deal with humanity. Enduring the strife and tribulation, it just guidance and protection to lead the shooting out of Babylon to the promised land, Mount Zion, Mount Zion, Mount Zion.
Zion high is the place for I and I to dwell. Fire, I go burn Babylon, but this is a living hell. So gather your baby, your submit to reach to the promised land, yeah.
Far, far away, far a Babylon, enduring the strife and tribulation. Cause I no check for vanity, and I deal with humanity. Enduring the strife and tribulation, Jah, guidance and protection.
To lead the children out of Babylon to the promised land, Mount Zion, Mount Zion, Mount Zion. Zion high is the place for I and I to have. Fire, 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 I go burn Babylon, but this is a living hell.
So God tell you, baby, I'm so close to hit to the promised land.
Far, far away, far, far away, far, far